Welcome everyone to the inaugural BlueHat 2024. I hope you had a good lunch and geared up for the next presentations. I'm excited to be here, amazing content 2 days, and thankful for the opportunity. On the same note, I want to thank the BlueHat organizing committee for wonderfully arranging this conference and giving us the opportunity to talk about it. Let's give an applaud to the committee as well. Thank you. So we'll be talking about Scam 2023, the story behind how cybercriminals are targeting Indian Android devices. Just by looking at the title, Scam 2023, I hope some of you must have played the background music of the popular web series Scam in your mind. We just want to have it more familiar to the audience, and that's the reason we chose this topic, so that you resonate with our opinions and avoid the pitfalls when you are falling victim for it. Okay, so let's talk about the scam in general. I mean, everyone has seen a scam on a phone, which goes for one day morning you wake up and you say, oh my God, I've won a 1 crore lottery prize. That only happens in dreams. Nothing is for free here. Or you get a call from an impersonating bank officer and they say your KYC is being on the warrant side and you have to renew it. But the scam which we are going to highlight had a decent spike in 2023. It was way more easy to reach the user and way more easy to fool the user to accept and work on it. So as we all are security researchers and security practitioners, we might think that we might not fall for it. But don't believe me, we'll see in the telemetry what happens. And let's just think about it for a second. So India is or was the second highest country targeted for Android mobile scams. Every other month there is a scam, and the average cost of that scam for a month financially amounts up to 20,000. Just last month, a businessman in Mumbai, I know personally, lost 5 lakhs for a similar scam on a government advertise. And keeping all this aside, I have a good friend in IT who was in security, lost 3 lakhs to this scam last year just because he was busy in his life and he wanted to get over that message and installed it. So I don't think anyone is vulnerable, but please don't believe me. I'll prove it in the telemetry when I show you. So I'll introduce our team. Abhishek is our main researcher and the Android expert. Over to you, Abhishek.
Hello all. Welcome to BlueHat 2024. Myself, Abhishek Pustakalo. I'm a security researcher at Microsoft. I'm into Android malware analysis and reverse engineering. And I've developed interest in this field to identify new malwares and prevent the users. Apart from work, I love to play badminton. Well, that's all about me. And thank you. I'm going to speak much about in the further slides. And over to you, Omkar.
And that's me. I'm the threat analyst here at Microsoft. I've worked into different fields, threat intelligence, security research, or incident response. Currently at Microsoft, I focus on cybercrime. And in cybercrime, I focus more on human-operated ransomware. Time to time, I assist several teams in this kind of functions. And this is where I'm assisting Abhishek with his own topic of Android malware research. I'm passionate about looking at the bigger picture, correlating things, and that's what a threat intel logically is. You can connect with me on Twitter. There's a handle there. So we'll go around agenda. Introduction, I'll explain the different type of scam. I'll show you the scam which we are going to focus about, why that is important. Then I will go into a deep dive, showing the nitty-gritty of the APKs, what happens in the background, showing some code snippets, and we'll explain more about their TTPs. Now, we did scan thousands of samples. So we wanted to show a common point behind all these samples. So we'll have a MITRE ATT&CK map, which will show you the common techniques used by almost all of these samples. Then what are we doing about it? So that's one of the main points. So we'll be showing about defender mitigation. And then we'll end the conclusion. So OK, so first slide. Have you seen anything like this on your device? Everyone has. Everyone has seen this link. Everyone has received a message with a scam link saying that, OK, click here, your points might be expired. Or click here, your account is under suspension. These type of scams are fairly common. These will continue unless we put the the people behind the scams inside the bar. But they will just going to continue. But the last 2 screenshots These are the scams which directly happen through your social media app. The difference here is the APK is directly delivered to user. So there is no infrastructure in between. Attacker has no additional cost in between. And attacker doesn't have to even create efforts into creating a website or creating a link or creating an advertisement for it. Another thing is the download button is same for an APK, a document, a PDF, an image, everything. The gullible person might just read an SMS, or a busy person like us might just read the message and click on download, and that app might get installed. That's the reason the last two had a decent spike as well as a decent success rate. We have seen number of victims getting targeted. Some of the victims were also in our own organizations. So we got the samples from them, and they were also victim for these scams. What I'm doing is I'm highlighting you the importance. Reason being, these are like almost original scams. When you see an APK with the same bank logo in your WhatsApp message with the same button, people usually fall pitfall for it. Okay, but don't believe me, I'll show you the numbers. That's where the TI lies. Okay, so before going into the numbers, we'll look into what attackers are actually diving into the motive. What's the drive to do that? The biggest one which we have seen is finance-based scams. So any bank in India, any financial institution in India, any mutual fund institution in India, even the gold fund, the advertisement which we see on TV, even that APK we have seen sent to people, download, install, and you compromise your own device. The other one, the second major one is government-related schemes. Transport, food, ration card, election, electricity, any major government department, there is a duplicate app. There is an app which you will see with a message of fear or desire to download and install it. Okay, now when you talk about TI, these are not targeted because they happen at such a wide scale, it cannot be targeted. But there are some evidences where it is targeted, and that's others. And I have a funny example for this because this happened with me and my parents. So I'll just brief about it. So one fine day, my dad receives a call from a police station that your kid has been arrested for driving under influence. And he is right now with us. We have put him into a cell, and you can talk to him in another hour or so. My dad, being an educated man, works at a pharma giant, being a president, passes everything, thought about it for a second, and called me. I didn't answer. 10 minutes later, he called me again. I didn't answer because I didn't have my phone around me. He sent me a couple of WhatsApp messages saying this all has happened. Are you actually in trouble or something like that? He has faith in me, but he had a hint of doubt whether this is real or not. But then he called me, I didn't answer. 30 minutes into the time, I called him back and explained this is just a fraud, and he has to ignore it. But he had the patience to stop. In a fast-paced world, in a busy world, if this happens, if someone is playing with your emotions, your parent is kidnapped or you are kidnapped, people usually don't think. I have a case, same thing happened to another person. He paid the amount and it was scammed. A couple of years later, that kid was with the parent already. Telemetry-wise, so this is OSINT, internal, everything else. I wanted to do a geopolitical distribution, but as I said, it's not targeted. It's almost everywhere. Average account of unique apps per month is 20,000. If you replicate it, it goes into millions. So 20,000 unique apps. We have seen attacker shifting its motives from one to one as per the season. Let's say there is election. We are seeing a whole bunch of election apps. We are seeing a whole bunch of other party apps, all fake, just to land compromise the device. Last but not the least, we have focused on the social media for this project, for this presentation, but the attacker did invest in other methods as well. So like an advertisement where you put on your phone number, and then that APK will be delivered to your phone number there. But the majority of the stake was on social media. Basing on this landscape, I hope I have raised your curiosity about this topic. and then Abhishek will take you over the more RE details and reverse engineering the samples. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Omkar. Your insights are more valuable and laid a strong foundation for all of us to dive into more content in the further slides. Okay. Now let's delve into the first aspect of the common attack flows, what we have seen in the scams. As you all see that in this slide, where victim receives an enticing SMS message with a malicious link and offering the user to click on the link or redeem the points, cashbacks, discounts, and prompts the user to click on the link. And that link gonna redirect to the fake phishing website, which has an ability to download a malicious APK file. As soon as user clicks on this APK file and installs on the user device, this application poses itself as a legitimate application where the user can see the application icon on the home screen of the user device. There, exactly the fake application malicious activity starts. Since Android is a permission-based model, the attacker sends a required permissions to the device. Based here, like send SMS, receive SMS are the permissions, and the attacker sends the commands via SMS. And here, data being stolen using data being using stolen to the commands received via attacker and sent to the C2. And when I say the information being stealed, what kind of information? Like SMS, call logs, contacts, and device information, bank account information, whatnot. What all the information being saved on the device, that all information being sent to the C2. Apart from that, in our analysis, we have seen most of the cases in these scams especially been using the RAT variants. Let's say, apart from collecting these SMS and call logs, the RAT variant has an ability to put phone on the silent mode, vibration, and to change the wallpaper, and to forward the incoming calls and outgoing calls, hide the application icon. It has much malicious activities can do using this RAT variant. Now, let's delve into the real-time case study, which is a sophisticated malware, which we have seen in the recent times of a financial-based application, where you all can see here of message being sent to the user in a WhatsApp saying that your account will be blocked by today, and please update your KYC details using a shared APK file. As soon as user clicks on this APK file, this APK file installs on the user device, and it installs and it shows the icon as a legitimate icon on the user home screen. Then when user clicks on the home screen application, the first activity they're gonna see is like login to internet banking, where all the internet banking users, we don't see these kind of information being asked like mobile number, ATM pin, PAN card. But in this application, fake application, it's been asked mobile number, ATM pin, PAN card, and login. As soon as user enters all these details and clicks on the login button, it's gonna redirects to the two-factor authentication, which does not connect to the server. It's a fake page, and then it's gonna present another page asking the user account information and the user credentials like user ID and password. And when user clicks on the proceed button, it goes to the next conclusion page saying that accounts are being verified, please wait for 30 minutes. But here in the last image where you all can see that a poor grammar being used, that don't delete or uninstall this application. This application is developed only for KYC purpose, and it's not from an official Play Store. That's all people get into trap, and they think later that, okay, this is a malicious application. But the interesting part happens into the next thing when user clicks on exit button. So this application has an ability to hide the icon from the main user activity screen, but actually in the background the application runs and steals the user sensitive information and leads to the financial fraud. These are the dynamic screenshots which we picked and we have analyzed through our reversing labs. And going further, let's deep dive into the static part. So as you all from the security background, you guys are already aware how the structure of an APK file consists. As an Android is a permission-based model, all the permissions are declared in the Android manifest file. Now, in this application, the suspicious permissions, what we have seen is receive SMS and send SMS. These permissions were included in the manifest file of an APK, where this application has an ability to steal SMS messages from the user device. This is a code snippet, but I would like to show the interesting part in the code snippet. Here, you all can see where I have redirected the point. There is a SMS message object and create from PDU method. This method has an display originating address method and the message body. When I say the displays originating address, that is a sender information, and the message body is a sender message body. So both the sender information and the message of the body being collected and sent to the custom object, that is send SMS. That send SMS object has an ability to using the volley to new request object, which has an managing the network HTTP request. That's how this entire information like incoming SMS been sent to the C2. In the other factor, in the second part of the code, where you all can see the same structure of the code, like SMS message create from PDU, and it has a displays message body and displays originating address. But here in this case, you can see all the incoming SMS messages being sent to the hard-coded phone number. In the earlier slide, we can see it being sent to the C2, and this is an additional functionality where all the incoming messages are going to the hard-coded phone number. And moving further, as I said in the previous dynamic screenshots, this APK file has an ability to collect the account information like account number, account use credentials like user ID and password, and sending it to C2. Here is an interesting code snippet where you all can see the object that is get user account, that is in the text and passed into the user account object, and that object being sent to the send text message method, and that being sent to the hard-coded phone number, as well as that has an ability to use the variable like URL ATM AC account, that here we can see that biotech flake webhost.ap.com, that details been sent to this C2. Now, one second. Now, we have seen a dynamic screenshots and static analysis. After noticing all this dynamic and static analysis, attacker been collecting mobile number, ATM card, ATM PIN number, PAN card, and incoming messages, user account details like account number, and account details like user credentials, password and username. So what else attacker need to do a financial fraud? Basically, all the details are collected and being sent to the C2, and attacker does a financial fraud activity here, and that's how the victim lost a financial amount. Here are the distribution tactics. Before that, I want to tell you all that this scam made me more interesting because how the people fall into this prey and what happens next, this all made me interesting. That's how I did in reverse engineering over here. But the other part, how do scammers create this content? What exactly they go on in a mind? Basically, scammers operate, what they operate, how do they operate, what users gonna see, we have seen in the previous slide, but how do they create the scamming content, that's we gonna see in the distribution tactics. So in my analysis, I've found it as a few factors. These are the few factors which I'm gonna talk step by step. One is news exploitation. So news exploitation is all about, I'll give a good example, that over a last week of a period, we all seeing that political event trend is going across the nation. So in our telemetry, we are seeing elections.apk, elections2024.apk, voter card list of APK, these kind of applications we are seeing over our telemetry, and there are like thousands of unique SHAs we have seen on our telemetry. And the next one is current affairs. I'll give another example. When government says that there is a scheme about the loans or any entrance examinations or job postings, immediately scammers catch that as a point, and scammers are very opportunistic and they are ahead always than the researchers. And they create this kind of a scamming content based on this, and they create a links or directly share the APK files through the social media platforms. And the next is fear or urgency. As we all have seen in the previous slide, that banking message being sent and a fear incident was created. Your bank account will be blocked by today. Please click on this APK file and do this kind of a stuff. That is kind of a fear or urgency. Other incident what we have seen across recently is that few of the states in India were saying that KYC need to be updated for the ration card. They have given certain deadlines. Soon, within a week, we were seeing an interesting telemetry in our records saying that ration card.apk, ration card 2024 APK, ration card Telangana.apk, ration card Karnataka.apk, new ration card. These kind of application APK files we are seeing wild in the telemetry. And the next about the impersonation tactics that you all aware about the IRCT scams, income tax scams, and the localized scams are like you all heard about electricity scams and e-challan scams where a fake phishing links will be sent and all the transactions will be sent to that fake link account. So from our research and analysis, we have done reversing for thousands of applications, and among them, few are the common mapping MITRE attacks are the phishing are the initial incident, and data collection, data exfiltration, and exfiltration to the C2 input capture are there. But other than that, the scheduled task or job is the interesting MITRE what we have, TTP we have seen in this time. Scheduled task, as we seen in the previous code snippet, there is a toast.txt message which gonna display the originating message and being sent to the C2 and the hard-coded phone number, the command received by a attacker. That's an interesting thing we have seen, but the rest all are like exfiltration, data collection, and sending the information to the C2 and the SMS control over it. Now, being you all are like security researchers, you guys are already aware about what preventions need to take care. Like do not click on these links and do not install applications from unknown sources, install applications from only official Play stores. I don't want to say that, but the thing is that what Microsoft is doing, that is more interesting. I want to tell that to detect this kind of an activity. So Microsoft utilizes an AI in the security. We are trying to develop an AI-based algorithms in which it's gonna read the incoming messages, text body, and the address information, and in that, key indicators, they look for the key indicators which are the suspicious language and the tactical words like blocked, been displayed by tomorrow, or like been disconnected by today, or that kind of a fraudulent tactical words being picked as indicators, and then it will be trying to detect it as a scam. Then this is a continuous learning program for the AI algorithms, which gonna improve the data AI security and to prevent and detect more scams in the coming days. Apart from that, Defender uses a behavioral analysis to identify suspicious activities and behavior-based signatures, prevent the users from the real-time incidents. Well, that's the conclusion of this content. Thank you all. And I'd like to thank the BlueHat organizers for giving us a wonderful opportunity for this. And thank you all. And me and Omkar will be on this floor around. Please reach out if you have any questions or you would like to know any interesting things about the slides. Thank you. Thank you all.